everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Sahar. I am an incoming 1L and I would really love if you subscribed to my channel. I will also leave all of my social media linked down below if you want to follow me elsewhere. But today we're going to be talking about the law school personal statement. If you don't know what that is, personal statement is basically your chance to show law schools who you really are, show them why you want to go to law school, what experiences you have, and how you can contribute to their incoming class. And it gives you an opportunity to go beyond the numbers and the overall application profile that they see from you. So I have 5 tips for you guys today on how to write like the best personal statement. I personally think my personal statement is why I got into some of the schools that I did, and I just really like talking about the personal statement. I feel like it's such a creative, unique part of your application, and I really feel like it can make you stand out. So I have 5 tips that are, I feel like, pretty unique, and I really think that this video will help. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So obviously when you're writing your personal statement, you need to figure out exactly what you're gonna write about. For this, I really recommend trying to figure out your why. So try to answer these few questions. Why do you want to go to law school? Is there someone or something or an event that kind of inspired you to be applying at this current moment? And is there something that you want to change? Is there something that you want to accomplish with your legal degree? Are there things in the justice system that you don't like? Are there things in the immigration process that you don't like? Think about things that you would want to do or would want to accomplish when you are a lawyer or when you have your JD. And this doesn't mean that you just write an essay about why you want to fix the racial biases in the court system. Like, that is not what I'm saying, but I feel like thinking about exactly what your purpose is and why you are trying to go to law school, what you really want to accomplish with your degree, is going to help you narrow down and try to find that niche that you want to write about. You want to figure out what exactly led you to this point, and thinking about your legal career's purpose, I feel like it's going to help you get to that point and get to that understanding for yourself. So try to figure out what your topic is, figure out why you're applying in the first place, and hopefully that helps. Now, while you can draw inspiration from your resume or other parts of your application, I really recommend to not waste your limited amount of words on things that they already know about you. They already know what internships that you've had. They already know what clubs and organizations that you were a part of. Now, there are always exceptions to the rule. If there is an internship where you had a specific encounter with someone or an event or a change, and that is really what inspired you to apply, then by all means write about it. But for the most part, I would stay away from your resume and the rest of your application and really craft this personal statement as something completely different and special for you. And then the last kind of thing that I will say on picking your topic is to make it as specific as possible. Now, you can always write a general overview of your life and how you got to the point that you are, and that's why you want to apply to law school. And while that's fine, I feel like giving a very brief surface level overview of your entire life is going to be so much less impactful than if you really gave descriptive details on one specific encounter that really shaped who you are today. So try to be as specific as possible. Obviously, if you can't be extremely specific, that is totally fine, but I just recommend to not be super vague and not just give them kind of your life story, but give them a special, unique piece of it. So next, I want to talk about how you kind of start crafting your personal statement. And by start, I mean the literal introduction of your personal statement. That hook is going to be what really draws the admissions committee in. It is what grasps your reader's attention, and you really want to spend a lot of time focusing on literally the first sentence of your entire personal statement. It took me well over a month to figure out how to actually start my essay, and there are several things that I did that didn't work for me, but let's talk about some of the things that I feel like really did work. So something that I did, because I was really stuck on this hook, was I wrote my entire essay excluding my introduction and I edited it, and I really focused on kind of the meat of the story before I even touched the introduction. And that really allows you to kind of see what direction your essay is taking on its own before you start to kind of introduce things and tell your reader where your story is going. So write your entire essay first before you even touch the introduction, and hopefully that will spark some inspiration. I also think that you should open with something either emotional or funny, because that is a really great way to draw your reader in. Now, you don't want to be over dramatic about an emotional incident that occurred, because it can come off as ingenuine and the admissions committee will see right through it. But you do want to be a little relatable, you want to be personable, and you want the admissions committee to feel something. You want them to be moved by the first couple sentences of your personal essay. And I feel like the way to do that is to really start with something funny or emotional, or just something that will catch their attention and draw and pull on their emotions. And if that's not possible for you, that's totally fine. Everyone's personal essay and personal story is different, and the way you introduce that is going to look different, of course. But those are just some things that I kind of recommend. I feel like starting with something very generic or cliche, like a quote or statistics, I feel like that is just going to make your personal statement not stand out. It's going to look a lot like everyone else's. So even when you are being emotional, even when you are being funny with that opening line or that kind of hook, you want to make sure that it's still so unique to you. They are immediately invested and want to read your story. Now, what I mean by this is, in my personal statement, I started with a sentence along the lines of how I experienced death at a very young age. And that was something that I feel like really spoke to the admissions committee, and that really drew them in. And the people that I got to edit my essays said the same thing, that got them interested, that got them invested, and they were already like, well, what do you mean you experienced death when you were like 8? That doesn't make sense, like explain more. And that's how I got them to continue reading my essay. So that's kind of what I mean by start with something a little emotional. Those are definitely more like emotional approaches. That's kind of what I mean. Hopefully those examples kind of help to explain what I'm trying to say, but that's kind of my general tips on starting the actual essay. Now, the third thing that I want to talk about is to show, not tell. And that I feel like is something you hear all the time, is that you want to show the reader what you're explaining or what point you're trying to get across. But a lot of the times it's hard to understand what people mean by that. Like, what do you mean show, not tell? Like, how am I supposed to show my passion for law school and my passion for wanting to become a lawyer if I don't actually say those words themselves? And I'm gonna kind of break it down for you. So the general idea of showing and not telling is that you want the admissions committee to come out of reading your essay knowing exactly who you are and why you want to go to law school without you ever mentioning the words, this is why I want to go to law school, or X, Y, and Z are reasons why I want to go to law school, and things following that same pattern. Now, how you can kind of do this is really use descriptions to your advantage. Now, when you're explaining or setting up a scene of where you were when X event happened or whatever it is you're writing about, make sure you're kind of describing what's around you, but also show them your actions that lead to a certain feeling. So if you're feeling scared, talk about how your fingers were trembling or how your heart started beating, but don't actually say, I was so scared to perform this thing in front of 100 people if you're talking about your stage fright or whatever it may be. Don't actually tell them the emotion, but show them your body's physical reaction to that emotion, and that is how you show and not tell. Also keep in mind that there are a few questions you're trying to answer without actually mentioning them, and showing and not telling your emotions and the character traits that you gained and your behavior is a really great way to do that. And these questions are along the lines of, will you be a good lawyer? What goals do you have? Can you argue for both sides of a topic? So this really shows kind of your ability to adapt to different perspectives and be accepting of different perspectives. And also, how do you interact with other people? These are just few of the many questions you're kind of trying to answer, because your personal statement is really showing the admissions committee how you are going to be as a lawyer, how you're going to be as a law student, and how you are going to be as just a human being interacting with your peers in law school. And you really want to show them that whatever topic you're talking about, whatever event in your life that occurred that has led you to apply to law school, how those things have either helped you gain certain skills that are important to being a lawyer, like being hardworking, being determined, perseverance, being organized, these things that you kind of generally see a pattern amongst lawyers. They want to see how you gained those skills. They want to see how you interact with other people. They want to see how you respond to certain situations. They want to see these abilities and these behaviors that you have without you ever telling them that, yes, I'm hardworking, yes, I'm organized, yes, I'm adaptive. You can't just flat out say that to them. So by setting up a scene, being descriptive, showing your body's reactions to different events and how you kind of respond to it without actually saying those words is crucial. So number 4 is kind of once you have already written your entire essay and it comes time to editing. Now, I'm sure you've already heard to get people's opinions, have other people look over your essay, but what they don't tell you is to not have a ton of people look it over. You don't want 5 to 10 people looking over your essay, because honestly, too many opinions can be harmful as well. Because once you have 5 to 10 people, or even more sometimes, telling you exactly what they think you should change, now you have so many different suggestions that you don't know which ones to actually implement, because a lot of them can contradict each other and you're kind of stuck. And at a certain point, you realize that your essay is no longer your own. It's not even your voice anymore. It's not showing who you are. It's showing who these 10 other people are and how these 10 other people want to tell your story. And that is not the point of the personal statement. So I highly suggest having 2 to 3 people look over your essay. Be very strategic with who these people are, because you want someone who's unbiased, who will give you constructive criticism. Because honestly, I could have had some of my friends read over my essay because I love them and I want their opinion, but I knew that they would be slightly biased. I knew that they wouldn't give me the feedback that I was really craving and that I needed in order to improve my essay. And so nothing against them, I just didn't ask them. It's still rolling. Yummy. Thank you. Some liquid courage.
Yep.
My kind of liquid courage.
Oh yeah.
Okay, anyways, I feel like I was drinking a Frappuccino in my last video as well, but we got a free drink today, so I got the venti. Sue me. Actually, don't. This is a law school channel, so I feel like people will take me very seriously. Please don't sue me. But there was nothing wrong with my friends. They're very smart people. I knew that, they're very capable of editing an essay, but I also knew that they were my closest friends. I knew that some of them wouldn't want to tell me to my face that my essay sucks. They just wouldn't want to do that. And so I decided to have my dad look over it, because my dad is a phenomenal writer, and I knew that he would not joke around with me and he would just give it to me straight, because that's just how my dad is. And it was really, really helpful. And I also had my boyfriend look over my essay, because he is freaking smart. As much as I hate to admit it, he is a lot smarter than me as well. And I knew that he wouldn't really care if my feelings got hurt if he thought my essay was trash. I knew he would give it to me straight. I knew he would give me really good feedback that I could use and implement, rather than just saying, oh, this is so good, like, good job, just fix a couple grammatical errors and send me along my way. No, I got really, really good feedback from them. And I feel like that really, really helped. Just having 2 people, and I had one other friend look it over who I also knew would really give me some good feedback. So 3 people in total looked over my essay, and that was all I needed. Now, another thing that I will say when it comes to editing your personal statement is, even if you only have 2 to 3 people looking it over, don't feel like you have to take their suggestions and fix the things that they're saying that you need to fix. Obviously, if it's like actual grammatical errors that are just black or white, it's either right or wrong, fix those. But when it comes to overarching ideas or the way you should present things, like, don't forget that this is your essay. And even if they think that it should be written in a certain way, you don't have to take their suggestions at heart. You don't have to actually implement the things that they're saying. Now, obviously, don't just sit there and say, nope, you're wrong, I'm not doing any of this. Like, really take their feedback into consideration. But also remember that at the end of the day, this is your essay, this is your voice, and you don't have to make any changes that you don't think you should make. So just keep that in mind, have a few people look it over, and keep this essay your own voice and your own story. Okay, and then the last thing that I want to talk about is to tweak your essay or to tweak your personal statement to each school. Cater it just slightly to each school. Now here's what I mean by that. What I personally did was my last little paragraph of my 2-page personal statement was left blank, and it was open to whatever school that I was applying to. And I wrote that paragraph unique to each school. So it had the school's name, it had some classes or some clinics or programs that I was really interested in that directly related to the topic of my essay and what I wrote about. And I was able to kind of naturally weave that in. And it wasn't just, you wrote your personal essay, now here's a disjointed paragraph about why your school is great, and here you go. Like, that's not what I mean. You have to find a way for it to naturally flow, but still have something included in there that tweaks it to that specific school. That way, they can kind of see that you took the time to learn about the school and to tell them that, hey, not only do I want to go to law school, I want to go to your specific school. And which law school wouldn't love that? Who wouldn't love someone taking the extra time and effort to show you that you're special? It's the same as in relationships, in friendships. You want to see that the person put in effort specifically for you. And that's exactly what the law schools want. The admissions committee wants to see that you really want to go to their specific law school. Now, if your school has a YX essay that you can write, this may not be as crucial. You don't really have to add this in, but I feel like for the other schools where you don't really have an opportunity to tell them that their school is the school that you want to be at, I really suggest adding this in. It adds a personal touch, and it really shows the school that you went above and beyond and you're really committed to them. So those are my 5 tips for writing a law school personal statement. I really hope that this helped. If you have any tips that you would like to leave for anyone watching this video, comment them down below. And if you have any questions for me, you can DM me on Instagram. You can comment them down below. And if you have a personal statement that you would like me to look over, feel free to DM them to me. Feel free to shoot me an email. My email is linked down below. I will be more than happy to look over your personal statement for you. If you really want some good, hard truths and critical feedback, I am more than willing to sit with you. We can set up a Zoom call. I can chat with you and we can go over your personal statement. I really do love talking about the personal statement. I think it is one of the most important and yet most underrated parts of your application, and it can really, really boost your chances of getting into certain schools. So feel free to message me whatever questions that you have. If you want me to look it over, I'm more than happy to chat with you. But with that, that is going to be all for today's video. I really hope that this was helpful, and I hope you're having a wonderful morning or night wherever you are, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.